I'm interviewing Jack Brown, a former owner of the fast food restaurant, the Iceburger in Cave Junction. I'm going to show how Mr. Brown benefited his community and his family through his business. What made you decide to go into the fast food business?
Well, at the time that I went into the fast food business in Cave Junction, there were only two other fast food operations in the valley out here, and there was a niche there that wasn't being filled by either one of them. So I felt that there was an opportunity there to fill that niche.
Okay. What were the benefits of doing things yourself, like fixing things yourself, and by making it a family business?
Well, I spent a good deal of time in the planning, and I went and looked at many operations around the state and in the state of California, and decided on a plan, a layout plan. I consulted with architects who were involved in that type of planning, and their fees were extremely high for the benefit obtained. I decided that I could do just as well as they could, and so I subsequently outlined and laid out my own interior, exterior, all my equipment layout on my own for maximum efficiency and maximum cleanliness, and by doing so saved a considerable amount of money. It also gave me an opportunity to employ a number of the young people here in Cave Junction and provide income for them. Also gave me an opportunity to give a young man who had a lot of talent in the field of art an opportunity to express himself and to find himself in the art field.
I understand that you started on a limited budget. Could you tell us a little bit about how you accomplished that?
After I determined the layout that I desired in the operation and the equipment that I would need, then I put together a brief and the presentation, and I started going the rounds of the financial institutions to see where I might obtain financing for the project. In order to obtain that financing, of course, I had to be able to provide projections of what planned expenses would be and planned income would be, a number of people employed, and so on. I was able to obtain only a limited amount of financing for such a venture because they're generally considered by financial institutions to be of a high-risk nature. So that left me with the problem of having to fit what I needed into the money that I had. And I started pursuing all of the ads in the paper for equipment at auctions and distress sales, and I traveled all over the state of Oregon finding equipment that I wanted for my operation, and was successful in doing so. It took longer, of course, to acquire it. I did the remodel myself, the painting myself, the installation of the fixtures and the other pertinent things that were required in order to do it with economy in mind. And I was able to fit it all in quite handily into the budget that I had.
What benefits did you think that you would gain by doing this business?
Well, the benefits were multifold. There were benefits to the community in that we provided a good food service. We provided food in large quantities for the money and an excellent product. There are also benefits in many ways to the community through the income that those people working there were able to obtain, which was spent in this community, through the advertising budgets that we had, and for the other things that we did to provide for employment in the community.
Okay, what were some of the things that were successful?
Well, a number of things were very successful. There were some things that we experimented with. Our advertising was outstanding. When we opened, we had so many people we hardly knew what to do with them all. And the products that we had were highly successful. Of all the products that we introduced at that time, we only took possibly one or two of them off of our menu that they didn't really go over like we'd hoped they would.
By looking back now, what, if anything, would you do differently?
Probably would have made provisions for a drive-up window and probably provisions for more outside seating. A lot of folks felt that we should have inside seating, but it wasn't that type of operation. And there's some very successful operations throughout the country that don't have any inside seating, but a better weather-protected outside seating would have helped.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to start a business?
Well, probably the best advice I could give anyone who was starting a business was to remember that most businesses that fail generally fail because of the lack of the expertise of the people who start them. So I would suggest that they become totally familiar with their market, with the products that they're going to be able to present, whether they fit into that marketplace, whether there's a place for them, that they examine very carefully their long-range plans for their business, where they expect to be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be. In my business background of many years in business, the corporations that I worked for, all the planning was on a 3 and 5 year basis. 1 year as well, but we had to know where we were going to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and what the market might be expected to be. And small businesses can emulate their example if they're going to be successful.